Okay, good morning, everybody. Today's date is May the 11th, 2026. It's 9 a.m. We have a quorum. If you'll please rise for the pledge of allegiance, followed by the prayer. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Commissioner Williams, please lead us in a prayer.
Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for this day that you have bestowed upon Mills County. Thank you for the rain that you have given to our county. Father, be with us as we do the business of Mills County. Guide and direct us in all our actions. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Good morning again. Nice rains, as Commissioner Williams said. Okay, on number 2, review and act on minutes, April 27th, 2026. Commissioners, see the things we need to do on that. For the minutes.
Judge, I make a motion that we approve the minutes as presented.
Motion been made by Commissioner Williams to approve the minutes. Second by Commissioner Head. All those in favor of approving the minutes of April 27th, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it. Number 3, audience individuals. We got some individuals to speak, but they're going to be down in the action agenda. I don't guess anybody else is here to speak. That's not already on the agenda. Number 4, review and act on accounts payable.
Robert, not that I'm questioning, Robert, but is that on the FEMA work for the old iron? Is that both materials and hauling, or is it just hauling or just material? Okay, it's both. That's what I thought, but I just.
147 loads and 99 miles, something like that. I may be a little off.
Okay, I was just curious if it was both.
Yeah.
It doesn't divide it out on that.
Okay.
I have no other questions, Judge. I make a motion that we approve the accounts payables as presented.
Motion been made by Commissioner Williams to approve accounts payables. There's a second by Commissioner Sutherland. Any other comments, discussion? All those in favor of approving accounts payable, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it unanimously, Shawnee. Consent agenda. Commissioners, all the consent agenda, treasurer's report, MCAD, county district clerk report, tax assessor's report, extension report, facilities report, sheriff's report, JP, county judge's receipts, Hamilton EMS, veteran service officer, emergency management coordinator. Another busy month for all offices in Mills County. I will comment, commissioners, on the 1888 jail and facilities report. Calvary gave an extremely high figure, which we, of course, the historical commission said no. And we're waiting to hear from Victor Sanchez from Providence Painting on another bid.
So so you're saying that the historical commission's gonna approve that?
No, they're not.
They're
I mean,
not.
It's just ridiculous.
I know.
Too high, yeah.
Okay,
So we're getting another quote bid which, we'll see what this one is. And we'll go to the historical commission, see what they think, then of course come to commissioner's court.
Okay.
And so this is regarding the second floor windows, several windows are out. So that was extremely high on the bid. Any questions or comments on the consent agenda, gentlemen? Motion is made by Commissioner Head to approve the consent agenda. I'll second that motion. Any other discussion? All those in favor of approving the consent agenda, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it. Consent agenda approved unanimously. Number 5, action agenda. Sheriff, good morning. Discussion of Sheriff's Office monthly report and related matters. Sheriff?
Morning, Judge, Commissioners. Appreciate the time to be able to come over here and with you up, whether it's recording your paperwork there, and I can see that we do. See there that it shows here on the report that April was a little bit slower than March. I didn't see any of that on my end, but the numbers reflect that it was a little bit slower, so. When we think of the total number of calls that we took, 262. When you look at the number of calls that the SO itself answered, 184, which shows it looked a little bit slower. And when you look down there at total arrests, though, we did end up with more arrests out of those calls than we did in March. Total new cases is one of the places that I'll refer you to. So when we think of this report, this is an excellent report for y'all to be seeing, and also it's an excellent report for the county to be seeing that's watching us on YouTube. So we see we have 4 new cases just over what we have in March, and that continues to go up. Total new jail bookings, that's down a little bit as compared to March, but that was down on other agencies. So when we think of other agencies making arrests, TPWD, PPS, and things of that nature, they were down a little bit. But for the SO itself, we were actually up. Civil process was up. Those papers that we served, those constituents throughout the county for court matters and such, see that we had a little bit of an increase there. Current open cases, we see that down, that's gone up as well. So one thing I'm showing you is there is some increased activity in the county as our new investigator is finding his footing. Outstanding on the housing of prisoners from other counties, you see there that we're down a little bit. I did discuss that with the jail administrator, because that is lower than we've been in about the last 8 months. So I was curious to know what her thoughts were on that. She said that is typical, and what you'll see is that will increase as we find our way into our summer months. So this time period, for whatever reason, amongst those other counties.
Spring break, I guess.
Lots of things going on, and also, you know.
Air conditioning.
There, we know that there's a little weather up there that does influence what happens in Hamilton County, so that's down a little bit. When you see what the deputies doing as far as citations and things of that nature, they are on board with what they do about every month. So we're talking about 35 or 40 vehicles a month. Citations last month was 38. Warnings 20 last month, so you can see that we're right in there. We're stopping about 50 to 65 cars a month. So one of the things that I thought about in campaigning, and I believe that was part of the discussion this morning as I was coming into court, traveling traffic is something that we need to continuously monitor and keep in good order. All right, that's the report. Any questions that I may answer for you this morning?
Commissioners, any questions? Sure.
No.
For the department?
No, kind of interested in talking about traffic.
It's,
A lot. Even on
our county roads is just like double too. I mean, it's just nonstop.
You know, an interesting fact, I look back at the traffic stats, and the most recent ones that TxDOT has is 24. So we know that the traffic has increased exponentially between 24 and 25. So when you look at those, the 24 stats, I think are terribly erroneous as compared to what 25 is. We see that on the holidays. This being Mother's Day, we see how much the traffic backs at stoplights and things of that nature. And then just like you say, how much increased traffic that we have all in our county, not necessarily our paved roads, but other parts of the county as well. So yes.
Okay.
We have a lot to manage.
Sheriff, hang loose. Any other questions for the sheriff on this matter? Okay, Sheriff, you're up next again. Number 6, consider an act on hardware recycling from the sheriff's department. This is regarding, I guess, all those cameras and whatnot on the recycling. Okay. This from, these are just the old cameras and whatnot and the recycling.
I'm not sure what that is.
Well, Annette, who, did, Goldsmith call this in or who?
It's right here, Judge. Sure.
Yeah. Well, I got-
Jack,
Yes.
Jack, can you hear me?
Yes.
That's from Goldsmith.
Okay. That's all Goldsmith. This is apparently
Yes.
the old cameras.
Yeah, that's Bosch and. I'm pretty sure you can ask Melissa, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
Yeah, I've got this list right here.
Well, I'm just curious why it would be coming, a lot of that probably is what's going to be happening in the camera chain, but
Yes.
it's not sure why it should be coming with this item instead of once we begin to accomplish that.
Probably, because it's.
Yeah,
On the,
You can have that. I'll get another one.
I'll give you a report, Judge, I'm not sure exactly what it is, but I'll find out.
okay. Commissioner Joel, Goldsmith sent this in to, us. Recycling.
Are they on,
Regardless whether it's Goldsmith, I think it should go to.
Are they
the sheriff's
online?
Department first.
Yeah,
Judge, are they online, Goldsmith?
no, they're not online. I don't see them. That's why we make sure we go on the facts.
Yeah.
So, okay, that sounds good. How about we, table this one then, gentlemen?
Is that a motion?
Hardware recycling. Now make a motion, we table number 6, hardware recycling from the sheriff's department.
I'll say.
And a second by Commissioner Thornton. All those in favor of tabling that item, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, this will be tabled and then for next commissioner's report, and we'll get a little more information for everybody. Yeah. All right, anything else? Sheriff, thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
The love down there on the other end of the table. What?
Number 7, discussion of juvenile board, Ms. Terry Truel and related matters. Good morning, Ms. Terry Truel. Terry, I want to start off saying is our new juvenile director for the Mills Brown County Juvenile Board. And previously Lisa Ritter was doing that for 20 years or so, I think. How long?
30s?
I was all 16, 36 years. And we went through an extensive interview process. Myself, Judge Smith, Judge Moss, Brown County judge at that time. And we had probably 40, 45 applicants. We whittled it down to 5. And we had numerous meetings all through October and November. And then Terry, we're very excited to have her on board. I wanted to come here today just so you'll see her face and give a little brief description of what all she does, all the work she does with the juvenile board. So Terry, I'll throw it to you.
Hi, good morning. Thank you for allowing me to be here today.
Get a little closer if you don't mind. Thank you.
Is that better?
Yeah.
Or I'll just talk louder.
Yeah, okay, that's right.
I've been in the criminal justice system now for 36 years as well. Most of it juvenile. I did do some adult, some child protective services. I came from McCulloch County, which has 5 counties as well, and made the jump to Brown Mills. And during the interview process, they said, well, why would you want to do that? We've owned property in Brown County since 2007, so we were property owners anyway. And so that's why we made the move over there. And I have 22 years as a chief juvenile probation officer, that experience. Our job starts at the arrest of the juvenile and runs all the way through the end of their probation for placement at TJJD, and that's where we end. The legislature has said that we must keep them as shallow in the system as humanly possible, so the sheriff, they don't become a statistic for him eventually going to your county jail. And so that is what our job is. We do that using rehabilitative methods, with counseling, that sort of thing. This morning, your county attorney, Mr. Monroe, asked me, what is my main problem? My main problem happens to be parents, the lack thereof parenting. We see most of the time that we battle parents more than we battle the kids. And so we are hoping to implement some things in that regards to keep their kids more shallow in the system, so they don't become permanent residents of the state of Texas. I am open to any sort of questions you gentlemen may have of me.
I don't have any.
We have a meeting Wednesday at the sheriff department with our board, we believe, correct? Yeah.
That's correct.
So, we do that occasionally. Sheriff, will be your facilities, Wednesday at 12 noon. Judge Smith, Judge Moss, myself, and Ms. Terry, and maybe more of your staff, I don't know.
There are only 3 of us, 2 juvenile probation officers and myself. We do have a part-time secretary, by part-time, I mean 16 hours a week, and that's the extent. So we run 2 counties with very few staff. I would love to give you the numbers, at this point in time, I really just cannot. I can tell you that we're seeing an upswing in juvenile offenders at this point.
But I know you.
Across all counties, not, or just in
Across
Mills,
the state.
across the state.
And unfortunately, we're seeing more violent offenses.
Well, you do a good job, and it's very important. What's the housing number facility over there? I can't remember roughly how many units are in Bradwood.
That are right there right now. I don't know, they technically, we were supposed to have a detention facility, and right now they have moved that to being girls. There are about 8 girls there now, and boys fluctuate quite a bit depending on their staff. And they have a difficult time finding staff in that facility, so they're probably running about 40 minutes.
Any other questions for Ms. Fruhl? Well, Ms. Fruhl, we thank you for coming. Thanks for coming to Mills County, and appreciate the report, and look forward to seeing you again Wednesday.
Yes.
All right, thank you for coming. Okay, that's a discussion with the juvenile board with Terry and Fruhl. Number 8, discussion on HCCAA with Ashley Johnson. That's Hill Country Community Action Association. And Miss Johnson shows up about once a year or so and gives us kind of a report, what's going on with the agency. And Ms. Johnson, how long have you been with HCAA? I meant to ask you that.
Oh, my goodness. I started in 2011,
Uh-huh.
February of 2011, so what is that, 15 years?
17,
17?
right? 17.
No,
It'll be
11,
six-
26.
Yeah,
15.
15 years.
I've been in my position for, I'm the CEO of the country. I brought just very high level overview, for you. As far as direct services, this is mainly based on monetary figures that we've done in our energy assistance program. And some federal funding that we, have done in our senior nutrition program. I also brought a brochure that is just an overview of the agency as a whole and what we offer. Thank you for your partnership. I was going to start with that. It's always a pleasure to come speak with y'all and answer any questions. The senior center is a blessing to this community and to us being able to operate out of it. We served nearly 5,000 meals out there. Our senior nutrition funding was pretty decimated over the last couple of years. So we have seen a pretty significant drop in senior nutrition services as far as meals. We had to cut back quite a bit due to the loss of the COVID money, CARES money, ARPA money funding just went away. So we had to decrease. In Mills County, we have kind of rolled out a couple of pilot options for people who need Meals on Wheels, but maybe their family can afford to help supplement those and like sponsor meals for people. So we have started doing that to try to fill in the gap without, going into such a financial loss by overserving, where we just didn't have the federal funding to do so. Our annual ask is always $5,000, and that letter should be coming in the next week or two. If you haven't done it already. And that covers, basically what it's for is our Texas Department of Agriculture money, our TDA match. We get 50 cents per meal match, and it's based on senior population of the county. So it varies county by county. And so what we do is we request the 5,000, we take the TDA match out of that, and then the balance of the 5,000 goes directly into the meals program to support that. So that's kind of what the annual ask is. And I'm open to any questions or anything else you would like to know about the center or the programs that we offer.
Meals you're serving right now, how many roughly are you doing per day?
Probably around 50.
50, that's great. Yeah, I'm glad our folks use it.
Yes, yes.
And
This center has always been, you know, pretty successful on the congregate side for such a smaller community that we started here. It's actually been, you know, people come and look at the center. Copper's Cove, the city of Copper's Cove is building a new center, and they actually came and looked at the Mills County Senior Center and designed their new center off of what y'all did here. So it's really been, it was well thought out in the planning. It has, you know, been a great place, for us to work out of, and I think the seniors have thoroughly enjoyed it.
For your asset to the seniors, I know you got some great volunteers also
Yes,
help out.
yes, amazing volunteers here.
Yeah. Commissioners, any questions for Ms. Johnson?
Do you see anything in the future for additional funding?
We are always looking for any kind of funding. We are looking more so into foundations. We're looking into kind of non-federal, we're looking to diversify our funding sources. Any way that we can, you know, increase funding, we are always looking at and trying for. TBC has a veterans grant that we've applied for. We haven't heard back yet on whether we received it or not. But that would allow us to serve home delivery meals to veterans across our service area. A lot of grants that we've applied for. It's just, yeah. Waiting to hear, doing more research. Anything that anyone here to please send our way, because we gladly take the time to apply and write letters, and we do everything we possibly can to keep this program going. It's our heart program. We don't want to lose it at all. But it is very underfunded.
So I know we don't have it in Mills County, but the Head Start program, how's it going across y'all's service area?
So the Head Start has been actually pretty, I don't want to say stagnant, but the funding has been continuous. It hasn't really gone up, but we haven't lost any, like we did in senior nutrition. So we are still able to operate at the same level that we historically have been. Food costs, I think for us have gone up so much over the last, you know, few years. It's just been really hard to keep up with.
Any other questions? And, Ms. Johnson, thank you again, and I guess I'll see you next meeting in Lampasas. What is that? I can't remember.
It's in August.
In August, that's what I say, it's.
Got a little break here.
Yeah, got two back to back.
Yeah. Well, Ms. Johnson, thanks for all the great work y'all do, and, let us know if we can help anything, okay?
Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming. Okay, Commissioners, number 9, consider an act on Goldthwaite Volunteer Fire Department interlocal agreement. So, about 2 weeks ago, I met up with the sheriff, first off, Kevin now couldn't make it today. He's tied up doing some things, but I won't tell him everything that we did, and he approves all this. We met with the sheriff and Ponce Coronado and Kevin now to kind of go over the interlocal agreement. To refresh y'all's memories, Commissioner Williams was in 2004, last time they did an interlocal agreement with the
Yes,
county.
yeah.
Goldthwaite Volunteer Fire Department. We and let me start off saying we got great volunteer fire departments in all 4 locales in the county. Store them on and put it in Goldthwaite. Lots of volunteers, they do great work. We had a little confusion on the interlocal agreement on if we had one, what it said. So I had sent this to also County Attorney Bill Malone to go over. He said everything looks good. Commissioners, I'll read this real quick, and then you'll have any questions, please ask. So this is interlocal agreement for Mills County Sheriff's Office, and Goldthwaite Volunteer Fire Department. Whereas the county and the GVFD both presently have certain individual emergency support responsibilities, whereas the county and the GVFD have previously agreed, as shown in their respective official minutes, to jointly address our needs for emergency support. Whereas in an attitude of mutual cooperation, the county and GDFD believe a sharing agreement would be a mutual benefit to both. Now thereof, the said parties hereby contract agree as follows. One, the term of the agreement shall be for a period of 10 years from and after the last party signs this agreement. Two, the agreement may be terminated for any reason by either party within 30 days written notice of the party. Three, upon termination by either party, a full and immediate accounting will be completed as to funds owed, if any, for service performed under this agreement. Number four, the Mills County Sheriff's Office will provide dispatch to the GDFD. The GDFD will provide firefighting and other emergency support services county. Six, the county will provide funding for fuel, insurance, other expenses in support of these activities as budgeted and approved. Seven, the county may provide additional funds for the purchase of training and equipment as requested and approved. And execution of witness whereof we hereunto affix our signatures as the date indicated below. This contract was duly authorized by order adopted by the Commissioners Court of Mills County and Mills County Volunteer Fire Department if we approve this. We'll start off making comments. Mr. Malone, do you have any comments on this?
No, not really. It's fine to me. Pretty,
Yeah.
straightforward.
Pretty simple. We like simple things, don't we, Mr. Malone? So, Commissioners, and what we're gonna do coming up, budget workshops, I will have the the VFD, chief, Mr. Now. He'll come up and talk about everything, get lots of numbers that y'all had requested.
So number 6 says the county will provide fuel, funding for fuel, insurance and other expenses. It's
Okay.
saying will, does that mean we must? And what is other expenses?
We didn't discuss other expenses.
Other
Do
expenses,
you have any comments on?
other expenses could get really high.
And I think any one of those absolutely have to come to the Commissioner's Court when you think of what those are. So that is what was in the existing signed contract when we looked at that. And I'm sure that would be something that if you wanted to, you could put a definition in there of what those were or make a determination of what those were. And when we say will, when we sign an MOU, these are the things that each agreeing parties are susceptible to, right? So it would make a determination on whether you wanted to sign that, whether the county will be responsible for the fuel that the fire department uses, or the training that the fire department chooses to enlist their individuals in. But I would think any one of those would be an expenditure that the county would be up against, and I think it would be your prerogative as whether you wanted to be susceptible to that or not.
You know, I don't have the previous interlocal agreement that's done 20+ years ago. Bill, I can't remember if it said other expenses in there or not.
It said, I mean, number 7 says may. Number 6 says will. I'm just want to confirm that that's what we're gonna do.
Sure, if I can't remember on the previous one. that's done.
I've got it right here.
I
It says
was
number 6,
right.
it says the same thing. It says the county will, but it's only for 1 year. The contract's only for 1 year. This one is for 10 years.
Yes.
It's locking you in 10 years.
When we looked at that, it was verbatim from the last one.
Right.
And then certainly at the time of contract, it's something that didn't have to be revisited every year. Now, if you want to, certainly, Wilma, your priority, for sure. That's whether you want to revisit this every year, or if you want to sign a 10-year contract.
For every 5 years, I
I'm
mean,
kind of like Jason, Will, maybe instead of Will, maybe Mike.
I think it should be important.
Okay.
Somebody-
okay. We can change that.
Because it don't say anything about percentages or anything else. It said will provide.
I thought that's what, Kevin wanted to have a percentage type thing on there compared to other other volunteer fire departments.
And I might add a comment. My understanding is that there will be a budgeted item, and that would be the ceiling for.
Well, that's the, during the budget workshop, they'll bring all the numbers to us where we can still say yay or nay and whatnot on what's gonna be.
Right,
Well,
so when you say will, when you say the county will, that'll be a budgeted thing during budget, and this is the amount of budgeted cost for the fire department for that year, being people, training, other expenses, right? But like all of us are used to operating within an existing budget.
Bill, would it be an issue if we took, on number 6, the county where it says will, and just put the county may?
That would be an issue from our perspective. They may object to it. Another possibility, if you have concerns about it being open-ended, is just to add a phrase, and as, up to the amount budgeted for the year, calendar year. That might put a ceiling, you need a little more comfort.
I think it needs to read May because we're actually doing this before we're working on the budget.
Sure. Yeah, they'll agree.
Well-
Yeah, good for us.
Well, the other side of it is we could table this and do the budget and not do this as of
Yeah,
right now.
We do that too.
And, well, one of the things that you also need to think about is it says Gulfway will provide service, right? It says the fire department will provide service. So when the fire department said we will provide service, I think in the back end of that, the county's got to have an opinion. Are we going to assist or are we not? And we think of the service that they provide, we're not talking about necessarily firefighting service, right? They certainly do provide that, but what Gulfway also does is provide all of the emergency response for any crash. So that's why they're looked at maybe a little more than any of the other fire departments, because they have all of the things that they can respond to a crash or removal and things of that nature. So they have a little bit of a greater responsibility in emergency response than any of the other fire departments do. So as far as extrication and things of that nature, I don't know that any of the.
I think they do here locally. I think they do here locally.
They respond to anything.
No,
on the
it's
county.
our county for.
I know, but
bricks.
most of your traffic controller stuff will be pretty close in.
Right, the only point that I'm making in that, the responsibility that Gulfway Fire Department has above and beyond the other fire departments is extrication. I'm not even sure that the others have that capability, but I know Gulfway runs a vehicle specifically for that.
Well,
I
My
think,
biggest
I
con-
think we got some funding issues within the fire department. Definitely. I don't know if you know what the funding actually is, but it's pretty. I'm not gonna say detrimental to the other fire departments, but there is a huge difference. in the
Absolutely,
funding,
absolutely, you are,
You know,
yes, sir.
So I-
It's absolutely.
I'd say we'll do something here without knowing what the budget's gonna do. You know,
Well,
so are we tying ourselves in if we approve this? And then let's say each of the other volunteer fire departments come in and say the same thing.
I don't think any of us are opposed to any of our volunteer.
I just want to
fire
make sure that we're
departments.
supporting all the way across.
We just need to get things, it's came up with the insurance bill, well, I've already checked, because my precinct, Pretty is not that much less per year in insurance than Gulfway is.
Yeah.
So they're pretty well funding all of their insurance, you know, out there, so, you know, we just gotta do something, I think that's,
Okay.
well fair to the whole county.
Well, come budget time, I will have all those numbers in our workshop environment with all the 4 VFDs showing what they need, what they're proposing, what's been the past history, insurance, et cetera. So we'll have all those figures. The question now seems to be whether we can change will to may or whatever. Commissioners, or we can table this, whatever pleases the court, whatever y'all want to try to do.
Well, I mean, to me, I'd rather, you know, you got will, and then you got other expenses, so that's a blanket.
Yeah.
But I'd rather have a man after.
Okay. Okay. What y'all want to try to do? You want to just table it for another time or make a verbiage change or
Well, we
what?
don't know when we'll start on the budget process this month, but it'll go through probably August.
Yes,
You know, so that. I think if we're gonna approve this, it needs to say may and not will.
okay.
Well, when we think of the last time that was signed and written, it's 2004, right?
Yeah, sure.
Years ago, when we looked at this thing, so certainly there probably needs to be some, correct language, as well as, how standardization going to be across the department.
And insurance probably wasn't costing a whole lot in 2004.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Either.
Yeah, they're saying it's gonna be up close to 20.
County Attorney Malone, is it okay if we make a change on this on number 6, the county, instead of saying will, say the county may?
Sure, the only issue that I can foresee is if we, fire departments have a concern that they'll be spending money that may not be reimbursed.
Sure.
That's just.
Well, it looks like to me, instead of us taking a vote and everything, we need to get back to the fire department, sound like to me, to go over the proposed change. And then bring it back, the chief not being here today, and make sure it drives with what they want to do, and then we'll come back to Commissioner Court.
Judge, I make a motion that we table,
Yeah,
whatever item this is.
yeah,
The table, GVFD interlocal agreement for today.
okay. Did you already second that, Robert? Okay, and second's already been done by Commissioner Head. All those, Commissioner Williams made a motion to table, second by Commissioner Head. All those in favor of tabling the consider and act on the interlocal agreement of Gold Lake Volunteer Fire Department, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? This motion will be tabled for another time. All right. Number 10, consider an act on application for unclaimed capital credits related matters. Commissioners, I believe you know it's package, you have that.
Yes, sir.
We get this in about every year and go through it. Y'all have any questions for this or anything?
Do not.
Okay, well, I'll make a motion. We approve the unclaimed property capital credits for counties.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Williams. Any other questions? All those in favor of approving the unclaimed capital credits, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it unanimously. Number 11, consider an act on Texas A&M Forest Service resolution to develop the community wildfire prevention plan related matters. Mr. David Shaw is in the back. I'll speak for you. Did not quite get all this information ready. He wanted us to take it off the rate. I missed the deadline, so we didn't get it taken off, and that's why it's here. So we can sure table this item, Mr. Shaw, if we want to.
Yes, sir, Judge, we're really close to having an agreement ironed out.
Uh-huh.
Put it on to the next agenda.
Okay.
Make sure to get those guys on well.
Okay. Okay, so I'll make a motion with table number 11, the A&M Forest Service resolution to develop a community wildfire prevention plan. Second by Commissioner Head. Any other discussion? All those in favor of tabling this item for the next Commissioners Court, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it. Number 12, consider an act on opening bids for County Road 189 box culvert. Lost my pocket knife somewhere, so I got this. I figure out how to get the knife out. Commissioner Horton, I'll be handing these to you. All right.
And we're just opening them here, right?
Yeah,
Open them and read them, and then you don't vote on them today. You don't have to decide today.
yeah, we'll just open read.
Sure,
So
they're
yes, consider an act on opening bids for County Road 189. So this is the first one.
You got 3 of them?
Got 3 of them, I believe.
Wow.
This came from Carlisle Fencing and Dozer Service. And, do you want to read the number?
Yeah, you read the number.
The bid was $278,000, which there's a lot of information on here that they're proposing to do. So Commissioner Porter, I'll hand this to you right here. Okay, the second one says Gage and Cave Construction from Bertram, Texas. And it's a little thicker than the Carlisle bid. Request for bids. Let's see, Commissioner Porter, let's see if we can see what the figure is here. Has a location. Talks about the project description. Scope of work. Okay, lump sum bid on Gage and them was 200. Wait, hold it, that's not it. Total project cost.
Project option.
Oh, that's pipe. So total project cost is $227,900. $310. Contact person is Jason Reeves. Okay? Here, Commissioner, keep that together. And the last one comes from Myers Concrete out of Wimberley, Texas.
It's like, go back.
Okay. Lots of pages again, Commissioner.
That's all.
Okay.
Something that-
Lump sum bid of this one's $219,828. And that again is from, Myers Concrete from Wimberley, Texas. Is that enough information?
Yep.
Okay. We will, on the next agenda, anybody listening, we will go through all these bids and, make a decision on the bid, correct, Commissioner?
Correct.
Okay. Okay, so that has been taken care of. Any other questions on that? Do you have any comments you want to tell the box score, Commissioner?
No, it's just been a long process. We're needing to do something. The roads deteriorating because of box cars rotting out.
Yeah.
So,
Are you gonna try to burn this week, maybe?
yeah, we were going to today, but that's not gonna happen. So,
Too much rain. Okay, any other questions on this?
Problem is, Judge, we went down there Friday and looked at it, my road hands and I, and there's water now just standing under all that. I don't know how you're gonna burn it. I mean, it might burn the top of those logs.
It's gonna be tough. Okay, anything else on the box score?
no,
Okay, number 13, discussion on MCAD 2026 preliminary estimates. Good morning, Mr. Michael Hall, interim chief appraiser, soon to be chief appraiser. We thank you for all these numbers and, Mr. Hall, we got the preliminary numbers, which I'll set things up and you sure answer all the questions by commissioners. And also on the back, it shows the previous preliminary numbers for certified numbers. And commissioners, this preliminary number has been buffered down 10% from what they think the certified numbers might be, but you still have the review process to go through, the protest hearings, which can be a big difference, especially these wind turbines on millions of dollars versus inventory, encore, et cetera. So, that's a caveat there to be careful. This could not be hold true on the 10%, it could be less. So Michael, go ahead, sir.
Going over, previous years, just the data that I have available, it looks like the county runs about a 9.2% protest rate. So you take your total value, about 9.2% is protested every year, give or take, including all of our industrial utility value. So that's why in the past years, our interim chief, or she uses that 10% buffer. That's a really good number. P&A, Pritchard and Abbott, who does our utilities appraisals, because of the world volatility this year, majority of the counties they appraise, they actually use the 20% buffer. Because we don't have oil and gas in this county, we have one little oil and gas account in the county. We did go with the 10% buffer still, just to kind of maintain that uniformity. But yeah, so that total preliminary value is $887,946,289 is your total taxable value. I think Judge Johnson said you'll have the numbers, the total certified numbers from 2025 was $909,003,442. If we want to go back and look at preliminaries from 2025, which were buffered 10%.
They're pretty close.
Take that. I had 632 million for the in-house, on that, obviously not including our Pritchard and Abbott on that stuff. When it comes to 2026, I know last year when I started in here, one of the big things, commissioners were worried about, and actually constituents all over the county worried about was ag. Worried about ag being misused, wildlife being misused. One of the things I'd like to point out, in 2025, we hired a full-time ag wildlife appraiser, Jaime Senior. That's all he does is ag and wildlife. 2026 at time of notices, so we mailed notices April 26th this year. We have 243 less accounts with ag. So, that total number came out to about $155 million in taxable value. Now, they still have their 30 days to protest that. As of this morning, she has mailed 150 exactly, certified denial letters for property. Once again, they have their 30 days to protest that. Those stem from most of them, believe it or not, are failure to fill out an ag application. So she mailed out almost 1,000 ag apps this year to wildlife folks as well as just general ag applications. And a lot of people just couldn't be bothered to fill out an ag application. State requires it, if we request it, you have to fill it out, you have to provide supporting documentation. So as of this morning, she mailed 150 denials, certified denials. So these preliminary values show or reflect that those accounts did not receive ag this year. So once again, that number is subject to change. However, there's going to be a lot that don't receive ag this year. So that was a big number. Another big number that kind of reflects that a little bit less value this year than we were hoping. House Bill 9. So House Bill 9 has to do with the business personal property being $125,000 exemption. So any personal property account gets $125,000 exemption right off the bat for all entities. So a school district, road and bridge, and the county. Mills County, there's 259 accounts that get $125,000 right off the top. So that's $32.3 million in value right there lost just because of that one house bill. So of the 340, I think it's 347 accounts that are on the roll for business personal property, 259 of them are exempt right off the top. So the remainder, they still get $125,000 exemption that can't be taxed. So other than that, we have 140 new homesteads in the county. So monetarily wise, that doesn't negatively affect the county. It does affect your school districts. But just as a, just kind of, hey, there's 140 new homesteads over last year. So 140 new homes that are built that are receiving homestead exemption. That means folks living there primarily part of the year.
That's a tremendous number, 140 new homestead exemptions in Mills County.
Yes, sir. And that could be, and granted, this query is very, very broad in the fact it could be a modification. You know, it could just be somebody that, hey, I didn't know I could get a homestead exemption.
Okay.
So they could have been living there for years and just now, hey, I didn't know I could get a homestead exemption. But over last year, just a rough count, it's 140 new. And there's 100, there's 6 new 100% exempt veteran statuses. So once again, it could have been they were partial before and now they received their 100%. So there were 6 that made a modification there at some point this year.
I know in Rolling Oaks, I think maybe the commissioners have heard there's 50 to 55 new structures out there on Rolling Oaks.
We picked up a number of new structures this year, yes, sir.
Do you have that figure? No?
Not right off the top of my head.
Okay.
We have, I personally had to go down and pick up some new houses for homestead exemption stuff. We previously haven't had a whole lot of access down there. There's a lot of new homes getting built down there. I believe I picked up 11 just one day alone. Just going down there, picking up one house for a homestead and saying there's a new house, there's a new house, there's a new house. So, but I want to say that the rough number is about 50 or 55 new structures we can have on.
Let me clarify one thing. The House Bill 9, back to it, that is deducted already from this preliminary that you put in here? Okay,
Yeah, that's this preliminary number includes that figure.
okay, that's all I was want to make sure that,
Yeah, but like I said, that affects that.
that's a huge effect.
Yes, sir. Yeah, it's 32.3 million off your value.
Do you have very many people that try to claim a homestead exemption when they already have a homestead exemption somewhere else? Or is there any way to check that?
There is, so if they transfer, when they come in, fill out a homestead application, there's a section on that form that you fill out that's like, hey, I'm moving from this is my previous address. Part of the homestead exemption is you have to provide your driver's license, and if that address doesn't match the address you're filing for, it's denied automatically, and that's state law there. So once that you fill that out and it says, hey, I'm moving from Georgetown, just say for instance, we contact the chief appraiser in Williamson County, and it's like, hey, this person's moving from here, do they still have a homestead here? If they do, then we don't apply. So there is a checks and balances to that. So,
There's been some politicians in DC getting in trouble for having too many homes.
Yeah.
I agree.
Well, I wondered because it went from 30 to 50, now up to 125, that money has to be made up somewhere or it's lost revenue,
Yes, sir.
you know.
Well, and the homesteads don't affect the county, at all, it does affect your schools. It doesn't affect the county at all.
Questions, commissioners, for Mr. Hall? And, your protest hearing start when, late May, first of
We started in fall, so, notices were mailed on April 26th, April 27th, informal start those days. Deadline to protest is April 28th, May 28th. After that, our actual ARB and Princeton will start. We're looking towards the end of June on those. And we'll have our certified numbers, right around that July 25th number.
Okay.
One other question, and it pertains to basically the subdivisions. Nearly all of them were 10.11, 10.12. They were clearing that 10-acre deal. But if they do build a home on it and try to homestead it, because that knocks their land below 10 acres, is that doing anything?
Yes, sir. So new ownership, when it swaps like that, it swaps from, one owner to another owner. With the home under 10 acres, then they're not, they're not allowed to have ag. Those new guidelines were adopted back in October, per the Ag Advisory Board. Where it gets sticky is when the land transfers in ag, the state law says, because it transferred ownership in ag, we have to honor that. However, it's not continuously used, so the way we monitor that continual usage is if you're under 10 acres, which 10 acres with a home is technically 9 acres, you're required to submit an ag app every year. If you're not continually using an ag, then you'll be denied that. So that's the way we monitor those.
You can get somebody to build, cut above the island,
Once again, you gotta continually produce.
But you gotta fill it out every year though. Don't miss it.
You have to do that every year. Another option that the state requires you to follow is fees. Fees is an option. Once again, we have checks and balances for that.
It's a higher acreage, ain't the
5 to 20 on fees.
5 to 20.
State
Yeah, I got
mandates on that.
You got
But don't you have to sell some honey
You
or
got
something?
Yeah, I has checks and balances on that. She makes them, you have to submit the questionnaire, which includes production number, receipts. If you're, using a beekeeper, you have to submit a copy of the lease agreement. So we're trying to follow all those avenues to ensure that, if they're receiving that agricultural valuation, it's warranted.
Well, it sounds to us, this is a good report. It sounds like I really like the ag office that you got going on. Sounds like.
She's working hard. We're all working hard.
Yeah.
And so wildlife, that's it's an every year thing. You have to submit an application every year. You have to include photos, receipts. You have to, there's seven principles. You have to be doing a minimum of 3 to 7. You have to provide documentation. You have to do it every single year. So she's following up on that. So like I said, that 150 denials in this county, that's huge.
Well, you're doing a good job. Keep up the good work. Anything else, commissioners, question for Michael? And well, hang loose, Michael. We'll move on to number 14, discussion of budget goals and calendar. And I made a mistake here, guys. I got 25, 26, 2025, 2026. It should say 2026 to 2027.
Oh, on the agenda?
On the
Yeah,
agenda there, yeah.
yeah, because it's correct on your sheet.
I made a
Yeah.
boo-boo there, overlooked something. The budget goals and calendar should be for 2026, 2027. And commissioners will have those. We'll have as many workshops as we need to. Mr. Hall and I will work on a lot of postings and whatnot.
Yes, sir.
Try to get everything right.
Yes, sir.
He's looking after me. I told him, anything, you look after me and I'll look after you, sir.
Our board of directors is supposed to meet this evening, because the sports banquet at the high school, our workshop and budget meeting got pushed to Thursday. But we'll be meeting Thursday to go over our budget, so our budget, needs to be on the next agenda for Commissioner's Court.
Okay, next budget. Preliminary budget. okay.
You know, there's a baseball game that night, don't you?
That's the day they chose, so.
Yeah.
I think your board president is not gonna be there. He's probably gonna be at his baseball game.
He chose to be there.
Okay.
Anyway, so these dates, commissioners, I had one boo-boo, Michael called it on the, very first one, I had May the 4th or something. MCAD required to provide an estimate of 26 tax roll. That's been corrected. I sent it to the treasurer, and I think everything is correct. These dates, we try to do everything early, so mid-August or so when pre will be done with this, which is good. Go, I know some counties go way up into September. I'd be pretty tough, I think.
There's a few counties that haven't sent, notice of praise value yet, so
Yeah, so I'm hoping again, we get done about mid-August sometime and be done with it. So,
yes, sir.
any questions on the calendars, gentlemen?
What do you also got on this is goals? What is,
Well, goals, get this budget passed. I think that's what we had last year, terminology,
okay,
goals and budget, get it passed. Look after our taxpayers, take care of our county's needs. You know, it's a balancing act, I say every year. But we got, everybody does a great job in the county government. Commissioners, you got your base material, you got lots of miles of road to take care of. And I tell you, that's what's expensive these days. You got fuel costs going up, base material keeps going up. So it's really very expensive. So we all need new vehicles. I know you did do it last time. I'd like to be able to do that. I know somebody needs a brush cutting machine. So anyway, we'll see what we can do. Try to fund everybody. All right. Any other questions? Michael, I appreciate you coming. We'll be in touch again. Well, thanks for everything. Number 15, Commissioner's request reports. Commissioner Sullivan, go ahead, sir.
And we've been, blading all of our 400 roads right now. And we've been thankful for all the moisture we've been getting in order to do this. So, we're thinking about hopefully over 400 this week and 500 next week.
Okay. Mr. Head?
Well, I did get a new employee, so that started last week.
Good.
We've been, running all material on carrier 250, we're about halfway through a 330 truckload project, so
All right.
that's about all I got to say. Lots of circles around and around.
Commissioner Barton?
Of course, just open the boxcar bid and see what we can get going on that. That's been a long process. Been hauling on some of the FEMA stuff. Looks like we're gonna have to drop back and do some regular maintenance work. Met with Tatum last week, several of us. Did not feel like we had a very productive meeting at all. They're pretty well, they're considering small projects $1 million plus projects. Well, in a small county, that's a huge project. So where we've been trying to complete Group E, now they're saying that Group D and E are bunched together. So D will have to be completed before we can submit for funds. They also, pretty well said that it was a 3-year project and that was from the disaster date. So
we're 2 years in.
we're 2 years into it. So,
2 years to get the paperwork done.
was not the type of meeting that we had hoped for. So we'll just continue on.
Okay. Commissioner Williams?
Well, do we need to talk about, I mean, how are we gonna do that? Is that what they're saying?
The only way we can even complete any of it is contract and way more contract than what we've been doing in the past year. I mean, basically to get anything accomplished, you know, we've got the deal, I guess, kind of backing us that we didn't get their work farms until January and February of this year. 2 years after the project actually or the disaster happened. But, the lady, and David Shaw might want to pop in there, the lady pretty well said it was from the time of the disaster. And it would be a 3-year.
I can remember it's a year D, that one road's what, 7.2 miles long, and you got a commissioner in two hands, it takes a long time to do
Yeah,
that.
well, we're
Well,
all kind of.
same deal.
Well, Robert's project that he's working on now, it was originally gonna be what, 3 weeks, and now we're pushing 4 or 5 weeks. So, I mean, the weather has a major effect in that, but
Yeah, well, I mean, and the worst part is, it's actually the smallest project I have in my precinct.
oh, really?
Yeah,
And I mean, but it's,
So,
it's about 50-mile round trip time you leave the pit, dump your load and get.
Summer on board? No, she's not online. David, I guess, you said you're the one sitting in here. Are we gonna, how many extensions can we ask for?
Dave, you might come up with the microphone so everybody.
Brittany, do you know, did they say? I know, I mean, we've already asked for one extension. Now he's saying 3 years, 36 months. Can we get another extension?
The short answer is you can always request for another extension. It's via that 3-year time frame. We're still only 60% completion of the project. We have to apply for an appeal to extend that. We have a good reason for that. Like we all know, we've lost a year and a half, 2 years of time just waiting for the project to be signed off. So I think it's in our favor. We win. I hope we win. But we'll have to apply for another extension in another year. So we've got a good partner right now. So that project you're talking about, 2 needs we have to extend that right now for a year. So
yeah, it was one that,
that's something wrong with that commission.
like I said, it's been a difficult deal from the word go.
Okay.
The lady from Tatum pretty well said at the end of the 3-year deal that it would revert back to FEMA. It would be, Jet was there too.
What do you mean revert back to FEMA?
It'll be FEMA's call as to whether it gets extended.
Oh, okay.
Now, I want me and Robert, since we're basically,
In the same boat.
in the
yeah.
same boat, I want me and Robert to get with David in summer before I say too much and see. I don't want to say the wrong thing, but I know what I heard from the lady. And it wasn't very positive towards the county. Or time frame wise, I don't think they mean it mean to Mills County or not. Their time frames and our disaster just aren't on the same time frame.
Okay.
All right, anything else?
No.
Commissioner Williams, go ahead.
Hauled, text dot wrap material or millings, however y'all want to describe those, to County Road 532. And did that section of the road. Also worked on some FEMA project on County Road 433 until we got rained out again. Did some blading on 530, 529, 527, 508. There was a veterans fundraiser out there on that road, so we kind of got it bladed beforehand. Dale and I met with the builders of the bridge on 508 on Thursday, and they made an agreement to work on the bridge on Friday, and they canceled on Friday morning, so did not get that done. So I'm pretty sure it's too muddy this morning to work on it, so I don't know. They were hoping to finish by the end of this week or next week, but I don't see it happening.
We were actually offering our trucks and our labor to get some of that mess cleaned up out there,
Yeah.
so then maybe it wouldn't,
Move
maybe it
on.
get finished quicker.
Yeah, cause my big thing is I've got to get my FEMA, I've still got that one FEMA project and I got to finish the bridge before I can do it. Cause people will be trapped in there if we don't. Well, now that's gonna be pushing us. Now we've got enough water. I don't know how it's gonna, the creek's gotta stop running now before we can do that. So,
Oh, by June, July. you'll
It'll be dry.
yeah. So, but are they gonna be finished with the bridge by June or July? That's the question.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Yeah. Again, some great rains in the county. Stock tanks are now starting to fill up. So that's good to see that for the landowners. Safety meeting, I wanted to see if y'all would be up to having a safety meeting on May the 29th. At my barn, if y'all are good that's a short week. We have that, that's a Memorial Day week there. Everybody will be on the same schedule. I know the big ones that'll affect is Robert's hands, if y'all are still hauling in, you know, and so, but, and I want to say tentative because I'm supposed to have a grandson born that week too. So I don't know. We'll see what that plans are, but
So what's the problem with that?
yeah.
You're not the one having it.
No, I know.
Are you going?
Yeah, but
All you gotta do is provide cigars.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Don't be cheap. Yeah, don't cheap.
Anyway, so if y'all are good with that, I'll look at planning that. There's several things that we want to discuss and issues that are, you know, kind of coming forthcoming. So,
Thanks for taking charge of that.
yes, sir, Judge, that's all.
Okay, number 16, county judges report. Last week we had the National Day of Prayer. Had moved in the district courtroom on Thursday. So good turnout for that. Shawnee, check my dates, make sure I'm not telling stories. Early voting will start May the 11th, excuse me, May 18th through May 22nd. That's next Monday through Friday at we call it the Senior Citizen Center, Community Center over here. And election day will be Tuesday, May 26th, correct? Okay. Also, the month of May is Military Appreciation Month, which, Commissioner Portney, our fathers were World War II veterans. I remember in the 60s and 70s, didn't seem like much was ever acknowledged for all our veterans. You know, Mills County would have 350 vets in Mills County, so it's good we have all this recognition for all our veterans. Of course, Memorial Day is this in a couple of weeks. So again, we want to recognize all our current past veterans in Mills County. And that's all I got. Number 17, adjournment. I'll make a motion with adjournment.
Second.
Motion made by me, second by Commissioner Head. All those in favor of adjourning, say aye. Aye.
Judge, I have a
Yes,
question.
yes, ma'am.
I have to go back to number 12.
Number 12,
We had consider and act on opening bids.
yes.
All we did was open them. I mean.
Well, we opened the bids, but we haven't made a decision yet because some of you saw how much material was.
Okay,
Good point, though, Commissioner.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we haven't made a decision yet. And I'm sure Commissioner Parton and I will go through all these here soon and bring a report back on the next commissioner's court.
So
Okay.
let's table that for her records,
Okay.
Judge.
Okay.
Do we need to reopen it since we've already adjourned, or can we just do that right quick? Okay,
Okay.
okay.
Go
I
ahead.
make a motion that we table the action on the bids open for the boxcar on County Road 189.
Okay. Motion's been made by Commissioner Williams to table number 12 on the opening of bids. Second by Commissioner Sullivan. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? So we got that one tabled too to come back to Commissioner Court. Commissioner Court, we got a lot of tabling here.
That means we can't do anything.
Huh?
That means we can't consider anything.
Well,
That's considering an act on
you got-
opening, which we did
Yeah,
act on.
yeah, but you did, she said she wanted a motion saying that we acted on that. But
We can still go through everything and bring it back and ask Commissioner.
yeah, you just gotta bring it back. You gotta decide which one you're gonna do and make the motion.
Yeah.
You gotta make the motion.
You got about 5 minutes after this?
Yeah.
This, I want to